Who is Hamilton Souther in the world right now?
I stand for wellness and overall spiritual well-being for everybody, true life improvement and also global improvement.
There is this beautiful part of medicine and there is this dark side. But dude, in the past 20 years, what have you seen change the most that has been most alarming and most shocking to you in the plant medicine world?
I think the biggest thing was the marketing and turning the plant medicine into a commodity. Commoditization of plant medicine was not the origin of my story, and nor people who were exploring this 20 years ago. The second biggest part of it is the politicization now. So making it all about politics.
What have you seen as far as your experience in the world? Can you contrast the pure essence of the medicine that really started right where you are versus what you're seeing on the West Coast?
The traditional uses were truly a medicine. You know, tribal people could find thousands of medicinal plants. The locals learned how to utilize different kinds of plant medicines for every kind of healing, very much like Chinese medicine that uses a bunch of herbs, Amazonian medicine that also uses hundreds of medicinal plants. What I was most shocked by was that the local people did not have in their vocabulary word for depression or anxiety. When I had been growing up, depression and anxiety was everywhere. New antidepressants were coming out all the time. To find a whole community of people that didn't even have that word was shocking. And then I learned that they had medicines specifically for mental health that came from the jungle, and they were medicine. There wasn't a greater mythological story that has been woven by the Western cultures about it. It truly was a medicine to heal yourself, really incredible purge and cleanse. And that's fundamentally what it was about.
You had mentioned there's a commoditization, and Tim Ferriss just wrote a blog recently and he talked about how like the peyote and the ayahuasca and all these different medicines, they're running short. Blue Morpho, which is your center that you, I believe, co-founded or founded, right? Did the medicine ever show you? Did you ever even have a premonition of what was to come as far as that commoditization?
The truth is no. I mean, when I started, this was so off the beaten path. There was almost nothing written about it. There was almost nothing spoken about it. They had literally no idea what I was involved in until global publications came out about that. I had this incredible calling to come and have these experiences. It was a true spiritual awakening. They ended up following the visions that I was having. I ended up in the Amazon and in this ayahuasca ceremony, but I got called to learn that medicine as a formal apprenticeship. And it was fundamentally never presented that the plants alone were the medicine, but that you needed to have trained, authentic medicine practitioners, and they had to go through these incredible rigors of apprenticeship that were life-threatening and unbelievably difficult to train you to be a keeper and a sharer of that medicine. And training would last anywhere from 5 years to 15 years.
What would you say the entire plant medicine world, plant medicine industry?
They need to hear responsibility more than anything. They need to understand the true power of what they're engaging with. Plant medicines are not just medicines if you administer them. You're not just a glorified person prescribing a tea to somebody. These are unbelievably serious and unbelievably profound plants that have literally shaped human consciousness over the last 50,000 years. There's a fundamental reason in the Amazon that the true practitioners of the lineages of medicine go through 10 to 15, 20 years of apprenticeship.
What is the key difference between the dark magic, the sorcery aspect versus the divine light? God and spirit guiding the medicine.
So the difference is really easy to understand. One is where the true essence of everybody involved are trying to utilize the substances for the purpose of healing, and real medicine create a change of state from where somebody has an affliction. So the affliction can be truly diagnosed, can then utilize the plant medicine as a form of healing. You as a practitioner of the plant medicine have to be trained to be able to diagnose somebody, look at them, understand where they're coming from energetically, literally straighten out all of the problems that they have energetically in that multi-D field that you talked about. And that in the visionary field looks, just incredible. And ultimately have the person come out the other side of their ceremonies having had healing, and that you can see that the affliction is no longer there. You can now diagnose them as having had a healing transformation. The darkness is the opposite of that. The darkness is a form of manipulation and a form of distortion. There's power games, literally do the opposite of healing somebody. It's like sleight of hand magic. It's filling them with illusion. It's taking somebody who's already in a state of need and putting them into an even greater state of need.
Yes.
And there's all different kinds of means to do that. And it's taking advantage of people in a way that is really frowned upon by the people who practice medicine. You need to be very careful about the practitioners that you interact with because of the power and influence that they can hold, especially when somebody's in a vulnerable state.
In ceremony, how does one go into ceremony and know that that person is pure versus they might look and breathe and smell exactly like somebody who's been doing it for 6 months and has that dark hand that they want to pass over everyone?
The eyes are the window to the soul. And so look at somebody in their eyes, ask them questions, see if they're open with you, see if they speak in a way that makes sense to you, if they're clear about what they're talking about. You need to do as much research as you possibly can about a practitioner and really try to hear from as many people as you can, the experiences that people have had, good and bad. Stay rational. Understand how important the person is who is administering the ceremony. The people who are administering that ceremony are unbelievably important to the outcome that you're going to have.